First, there was Earth.
Boring! Then came Neopets.
Neopets. The early 2000s website where kids could escape from the harsh realities of middle school, adopt pixelated creatures, and dive into the thrilling world of virtual capitalism? Yeah, that's right. Neopets wasn't just about feeding your pet and playing games, it was a low-key lesson in economics. But let's rewind for a second. If you were a kid in the early 2000s, chances are you dabbled in the digital chaos that was Neopia. If you didn't, well, you missed out on a world where your Neopet could be starving while you wasted your days playing Mirka Chase, or gambling your savings in the definitely not suspicious world of the Neopian stock market. You see, Neopets taught us a lot of things, like how to irresponsibly gamble your money on the wheel of excitement, which had a 95% chance of giving you a disease rather than any actual excitement. Life lessons, folks. And of course, there was that one fateful day where you logged in only to see that your beloved pet was starving. Don't worry though, you could either feed it gourmet food from the Neopian food shop or toss it some stale jelly from the Jelly World. Oh wait, sorry, I forgot Jelly World doesn't exist. Speaking of things that don't exist, anyone remember when you'd spend hours trying to visit shops only to be greeted with out of stock? Why was everything always sold out? Turns out, even in a pixelated paradise, capitalism reigned supreme and supply chain issues were real. You couldn't even buy a single loaf of bread without dealing with inflation bots and virtual resellers. 10,000 Neopoints for a carrot? What am I, a billionaire? But let's talk about where Neopets really shined. The games. Neopian games. The minigames were an absolute blast. Unless you were trying to beat the game for Neopoints, then suddenly they were a soul-crushing grind fest that made you question every life choice up until that point. Of course, we can't forget about the pinnacle of Neopian society, the Battle Dome. Because what's the point of having a cute, fluffy Neopet if you're not going to pit it in an arena for gladiatorial combat? Forget playing fetch, your Neopet was training for war. But honestly, beyond all the stock market's inflation, gambling wheels, and child labor, I mean, sending your pet to the soup kitchen, Neopets gave us something special. It wasn't just about the pets, or the games, or even the weird capitalist undertones. Neopets was a community where you could send random gifts to strangers and somehow always end up in a fight with someone on the message boards over something like the ethics of restocking. At the end of the day, Neopets was pure chaotic fun. It had its flaws, sure, and maybe now it's a little outdated, but for those of us who grew up with it, it was a big part of our digital childhood. So, if you ever feel nostalgic, go ahead and log back into Neopets. Who knows? Maybe your pet's still waiting for you, or maybe it's dead from starvation. Either way, it's been fun. And remember, Jelly World doesn't exist. Feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Until next time.